Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela if you are new, and I love skincare and makeup sometimes. And today is one of those days. I know it's been a while, but I'm so happy to have you here and it feels really good to be back. Alright, now I hope you didn't think we were going to jump straight into makeup. The importance of skincare is often understated. Typically in makeup tutorials, I find most people don't express their skincare routines or talk about the skin prep before they apply the makeup, but y'all, I would argue that it is the most important step. It's the difference between your makeup applying flawlessly and ending up with cake face or dried up flaky skin in your foundation, or maybe excessive oil shining through. Let's take care of the skin first, shall we? Every single skincare routine, morning, night, does not matter. Your skin type, your skin concern, the environment you live in, doesn't matter. Every single person's skincare routine should feature some kind of hydrating products. I try to keep my morning routine very simple but effective. After all, the goal at the end of the day should always be hydration. So my cleanser is going to be non-stripping, the toner is going to add hydration, it's going to help restore my skin barrier, and it's going to help prep the skin for the next steps. You can also follow up with a serum to help further boost hydration, and make sure that you lock all that in with a moisturizer that features humectants. Moisturizer can be different depending on your skin type. If you have more combo or oily skin, you'll want to focus on something that's more lightweight, that has a gel type consistency. If you have dry skin, you'll want to find something that's a little bit more moisturizing. It can still be lightweight during the daytime. And if you have a normal skin type, congratulations, you can use it all. Now, in makeup tutorials, I hardly ever hear anyone mention sunscreen. Sometimes they'll say a moisturizer, but come on, y'all. If you thought that sunscreen was just for the beach during summertime, hello, my friend. I'm here to tell you, you should be wearing that every day and reapplying. That's the tricky part. If you are unaware of all the glorious benefits of using sunscreen daily, let me tell you, it is a fantastic product to prevent a lot of things. Let's get into it. The most common and the most important that we know is, of course, skin cancer. Using sunscreen every single day is an amazing preventative step for the causes of skin cancer. Some other benefits also include its anti-aging properties. The sun is the main culprit for our external aging. So wrinkles, fine lines, but also if you have, let's say, hyperpigmentation, dark spots that you are trying to fade but not wearing sunscreen, my friend, the sun is also darkening those spots. So at the same time you're maybe trying to lighten them, the sun is actively darkening them. Sunscreen will help with that. See y'all, skincare can be both fun and educational, but let's get started with the makeup. The foundation I'm using today was sent to me from Chantecaille. It is ridiculously expensive, so please feel free to use your favorite foundation. I always recommend picking a foundation based on your skin type and the overall finish that you're looking for. Because my skin type is naturally quite dry, I do prefer to go for the glowy look that I get from using a dewier foundation. Now, primers can be super useful, especially if you have oily skin and you are using an oil control primer. I typically skip this step because I find that I prep my skin very well just with skincare. There are also some fantastic sunscreen options that double as primers, so I feel like you can still get the overall benefits of using a primer within certain aspects of your skincare routine. But what I do like to do, and what I highly recommend doing if you're a beginner or just want to switch up your technique a little bit, go in with a flat brush and use the flat side of the brush and alternate between brush strokes and patting, only using the side of the brush. I started doing this recently and I'm telling you, it blends out my liquid products beautifully, like a dream. There aren't any brush strokes, it is chef's kiss. I love to also go bit by bit in layers. I find that this is the best way to avoid doing a little too much too soon, if you know what I mean. It's certainly the easiest way to control the outcome of your makeup every single time. By going in and using very small amounts, you can also control how much coverage you want in a particular spot. So I typically don't use a concealer and a foundation. I'll just go in with the one product, either or. So I'll just go in and layer the foundation on top of itself. If there's a particular scar I want to cover up, and I'll just pat instead of stroking for that particular section so that it does give me a bit more coverage. But layering is always the easiest way to avoid more foundation than you want on your skin, and it feels so much more lightweight. It feels so much more comfortable. It never feels heavy when you pick and choose where you want to apply foundation, if that makes sense. Okay, so with bronzer, blush, any kind of cheek product, I find that it's always better to start out a bit higher up on the face when you are initially kind of mapping out where you want the product to go. When you start blending out, the product is going to go above and slightly below where you placed it. So when you keep the general placement of the bronzer, for example, higher up on the cheek, it doesn't drag down and start to look muddy. As you can also see, by using the flat side of the foundation brush, to be honest, I don't really know what technology is going on here. I just know that when I use it to blend out, it is always seamless. And I use this one brush for almost my entire face, which is really incredible. In my opinion, the trick to doing the no makeup look and having a really good application is just using a light hand. Whether it's full coverage or really lightweight coverage, you don't ever want to go in with a heavy hand to apply products. Always be sure to take your time and go in layers. Add a little bit more as you need it, but always start with less. I mean, after all, it's easier to add more than it is to take away, so keep that in mind. I feel like the glass skin makeup look is all about doing your best to, of course, prep the skin, but to also let your natural skin peek through. It's truly about showing off the work and the effort that you put into your skincare routine. That's how you see results in your skin. It's through skincare, not makeup. And of course, this look can always be achieved no matter what skincare concern you're currently facing. Most of my acne has cleared up at this point, but even when I did still have a face full of cystic pimples, I was doing this makeup. Naturally, I was focusing on covering my pimples, but don't let not having glass skin stop you from trying to do the glass skin no makeup look. You know what I mean? You should always wear the makeup that you feel most comfortable in. Never feel like you have to wear full coverage because that's the only thing that covers your acne. You don't even have to cover your acne. Did you know that? And honestly, I have a hot take here. I think acne scars, hyperpigmentation, I think it's cute. They're sort of faded now, but I had these two kind of twin dark spots on either side of my nose. You can see it a little bit, and I thought they were just adorable because they were like, I don't know, Siamese twins. So if you are going for, the lightweight natural makeup look, just embrace your skin for what it is. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. You do not need clear skin to have a good makeup application. Okay? Some food for thought. I think it's always nice to have little skin positivity reminders, But let me get back to the makeup application. So as I've mentioned several times now, I really focus on using a light hand with all makeup products. I feel like eyebrows are pretty self-explanatory, especially the products that I'm using. Just used a spoolie to brush them up, and now I am using brow gel. This is from Glossier the Boy Brow. It's a fantastic product, by the way. It's incredibly easy to use. It's pretty beginner friendly in my opinion, and it just gives a really natural, bushy eyebrow. But again, you do want to go in, take your time, use a light hand. I like to start from the arch of my eyebrow because typically when you're first applying the gel, you'll get the most sort of pigment out of the product. So I keep it in the arch and go into the tail, because if that area is darker, that's fine. but we always want to keep the front of the eyebrows with the least amount of product so that it does look natural. It has that natural sort of taper. And I am using some brow glue from NYX just to pretty much lock the eyebrow in place, and I do approach it the same way, typically starting with the arch, even though right here I didn't do what I just told y'all to do, but that's fine. I mean, with brow glue I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm just using this to keep everything in place, and then I do go in super lightly with my finger to press it down. This is going to help avoid any kind of residue that sometimes happens, like the white or the little flaky bits after using a brow glue product. This helps make sure that the brows don't move all day and stay exactly where you want them to be. There are certain tricks you can do to achieve a better, longer lasting curl with your eyelash curler. For me, I definitely want to try to keep it as close to the lash line as possible without injuring yourself. And I do go back in and curl it several times and kind of pump the lash curler as I'm going. And honestly, I don't stop until I get a curl. Like, I used to just give up. You can't give up on your eyelashes. Keep curling them until they stick up and they stay curled in the way that you want them. Now, in terms of applying mascara, there are truly many different techniques that you can use. My favorite is to always focus on the tips. As a general rule of thumb, if you are looking for more of a thick kind of volumized lash, you want to focus the wand closer to the base of your lashes, and if you're going for lengthening, always focus on the tips. Apply more products to the tips because that is going to, it's adding more mascara, so it is going to, of course, give a lengthening effect. And when I'm initially applying the mascara, one of my favorite things to do, my favorite ways to do it, is to start at the base of your lashes and roll the wand through. So you're going to be twisting the wand in your fingers, if that makes sense, all the way up from the base to the top. So again, that's sort of alternating between just starting brushing through the tips and wiggling the wand through, twisting the fingers from the base to the top, and it really does allow the mascara to evenly coat across all of your lash hairs. This helps to separate and lengthen and give a nice sort of base volume to the eyelashes without looking, clumpy or too spidery. Mascara is one of those makeup products that you really don't have to invest money in. Drugstore, Sephora prices, luxury, they're sort of all the same. There's slight differences, but you can use this sort of technique with any mascara, and I find it all works the same. Okay, this is my absolute favorite technique to keep that sort of natural look, but with a little bit extra flair. This is slightly above natural. She's a little escalated. This is natural's older sister. And we're going for a half lash. Now you can buy lashes that are already cut in half. I think it's easier to just pick up a pair of lashes that you already like and cut them in half. But I like to split them right down the middle and then use the first half of the eyelash, not the outer portion. The reason why I like to do this is because it has more of a natural incline. So it starts from really short hairs to the longer hairs in the middle, and it gives a really nice flare and a nice lift to the lashes. So some people do go in and use the other half, the outside half of the lashes. I think it just makes more sense to go in with the first half of the lash. I find that by doing this, it just looks more natural. It blends in a lot more seamlessly with your eyelashes because you are using that initial, you're using the very beginning of the lash, so because it is shorter, it's closer in line with the length of your natural eyelashes, so it just merges kind of seamlessly. So to apply, I do place the tweezers. I hold the tweezers closer to the very end of the lashes so I can line it up with the end of my natural eyelashes and then work on just securing the rest of the half lash. With applying fake eyelashes, it really is practice makes perfect. A trick that I used to like to do is apply some of the lash glue to the base of your eyelashes instead of applying it to the actual fake eyelash, and then putting the eyelash where you have the glue. I hope that makes sense. And it is an easier process because you're kind of setting yourself up for success in a way. So that's just a little tip if you want to try it. Alright, now with eyeliner, the best advice that I can give to you is to simply take your time. I kind of struggled today because I was in a little bit of a rush, so let's do as I say and not as I do. If you're an absolute beginner, what I love to do is use a piece of tape. You can put the tape on the back of your hand, and then so it's not a sticky, and line it up with the edge of your eyelashes so that when you're using your liquid eyeliner, the tape will essentially save it. It's like a stencil, a little bit, and it will always give you that clean, sharp line. And it's also a super easy way to make sure that your eyeliner is even on both sides because, you know, you can adjust the tape. When you're kind of freehanding it, another tip is to start off with a pencil. Use that as a guiding line because pencils are much more forgiving and can easily be sort of erased in a sense. My personal favorite way to apply eyeliner is with gel eyeliner and a brush. I just find that it's easiest to use an angled brush. But listen, if you're using liquid eyeliner, just take your time. We are nearing the end of this tutorial. Now it's just time for the easy accent parts. With eyeshadow, I always like to go based on the natural coloring of my eye. So we do typically tend to have a slight brightness on the inner corner. So I try to pick a color that matches that looks like skin. It's very natural. And yes, I am using a Q-tip. You could definitely use a makeup brush, but Q-tips are also, they work. Then I like to go over any beauty marks I may have, as sometimes applying foundation or other, bronzers, blush, it can cover them. Freckles are totally optional. I just kind of like the way they make my nose look. I feel like it adds the most natural contour. I know that sounds like a reach, but I don't know, it does something. It does something in terms of shaping the nose in a very subtle way, and I enjoy that, but feel free to skip this step. Alright, this is definitely the easiest and my most favorite part of any makeup tutorial. This is the lip combo that I use every single time. I've always said this, every brown girl needs a brown liner. Point blank period. This is going to be the magic trick to pretty much get any lip color to work in our favor. This is the Makeup Forever eye, lip, and brow pencil. It's a multi-purpose pencil, super creamy, super easy to use, definitely recommend, but you can use any brown liner, and it's in the shade Limitless Brown. And I'm going on top with my most favorite lip product. This is from Merit Beauty in the shade Au Naturel, and it just does something to my spirit. It is truly beautiful, and they have a similar shade to this that's slightly darker, so I really feel like it's just a good, super natural, neutral nude-ish. It's just poppin', what can I say? Yeah, y'all, so that about wraps up this tutorial. Again, I always encourage you to wear whatever makeup makes you feel the most confident and the most comfortable, because at the end of the day, you're wearing it for yourself, you're not wearing it for anybody else. So do what makes you happy. I hope you learned something new, a trick or two, or maybe found a new product that you're interested in trying. And I thank you so much for watching. It's really been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Stay safe.